On the state level, I always try to mark things by 1997 because that's the year we filed our case in Vermont. And at that point, there were no states that had any kind of statewide protection for same-sex couples as families. And since 1997, what we've seen is 5 states and the District of Columbia approving of marriage, 3 other states approving of recognizing marriages even though they don't license them, and 2 other states recognizing them in part, 5 states that have civil unions or registered domestic partnership, which is not marriage, but is very comprehensive state-level protections, and then another 5 states that have some sort of much more limited protection, but is still statewide. So what I see is enormous progress in the right direction, where people understand, legislatures, courts, ordinary citizens understand it is not okay for gay people to make these commitments to each other and treat them as though they are legal strangers, that people and families need protections to live. So I see enormous progress on the state level, but of course a long way to go. And in the same vein, at the federal level, we have a case, Gill versus Office for Personnel Management, which you can read about on glad.org/DOMA. And essentially what it says is for married couples, they should be treated as the married couples they are by the federal government. And with the Defense of Marriage Act that passed in 1996, one portion of it creates a federal definition of marriage, which is in the Dictionary Act, and essentially says this is what marriage is and it's not going to be for same-sex couples. And the effect of that is to withhold over 1,000 protections and responsibilities from people who in fact are married and only married same-sex couples. So we're in court about that, and there's also of course the Perry case in California, which is in federal court, seeking a fundamental right, seeking vindication of the fundamental right to marry for gay people.
For some of our readers, where can they go to find out about the some of the state actions that you just mentioned? Is there a website we can point them to?
Sure. I think there are a number of websites that might be helpful. One can look at an organization like mine, glad.org, or the National Center for Lesbian Rights, or Lambda Legal Defense, Human Rights Campaign, National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, all have various updates about what is happening in the states. But certainly since '97 we've made progress and we have a distance to go.